we're going to be separating this warehouse into two different work areas with a couple of doors to go in and out on both sides. How are we going to do this? If you see, we have a concrete floor, so we're going to attach the pipe to the floor. We already welded the pipe to a flange, and we're going to use what I used to call thunder studs, but wedge anchors. We're going to use 4 1/4 inch wedge anchors and drill right into the floor, attach everything, and then just put up 8-foot high chain link. It's going to be a nice, simple job. It's going to be great. You can see we welded these 3-inch skedge pipe to an 8-inch flange, and I have 3 different size pipes. I have pipes for the line posts, which, since it's an 8-foot high fence, we had made at 7 foot 10 inches. We have the end post, the terminal post, which we cut at 8 foot 3 inches. And then we have 2 doors. So on either side of the 2 gates, I had the pipe cut a little bit longer, 8 foot 6 inches, because I'm going to put a piece of pipe over the gates just so that they stay nice and solid. So we have 3 different size pipes. I already separated out all our fittings, and these are our wedge anchors that we're going to use to attach the pipe to the floor.
Why are the wedge anchors special?
Well, the wedge anchors are good because once they go in, if they want to take down the fence or remove something, it's easy enough to do. They would just take the nut off and lift the flange off of the ground. So they're extremely secure, but also you could remove something if you need to. With them running forklifts back and forth in this warehouse, it's only a matter of time before they hit one of the pipes, and it'll be an easier repair with wedge anchors than if we use some kind of a sleeve anchor.
I mark it already.
All right, so let's move this out of the way. All right, so Freddie already found the placement. We want to stay 18 inches off of the door to start. He marked out the first 4 holes, and now we're going to move this out of the way, and he's going to drill. Drill, baby, drill, as our new president says.
We will drill, baby, drill.
Don't you wish like every job could be like this in the wintertime? With the way we're drilling the post into the ground is we're going to put the pipe where it needs to be, mark the ground, so we mark the flange. It makes it nice and easy. We know exactly where we need to be. What Herson's doing now is he knows how deep he has to go with the holes. He's just marking his drill bit to make it easy. And then we'll have the same height every single time. Then we start the hole with the pipe there. We drill right through the hole of the flange so that we have an exact mark. And then we move the post out of the way. We'll finish drilling. Right now they're placing all the wedge anchors in. Then once they're all in place, they're going to tap them down to where they need to be, and then they'll tighten it up. Once they hit bottom, you'll feel it. As you're topping it down, you'll feel when it hits solid concrete. Then we put the washer and the nut on it and tighten it, and that'll expand the bottom, and it'll be nice and solid. Okay. All right. And look how solid this is. Okay.
Bring the girl.
Yeah. Do a dance. Do a dance. So I'm going to have the guys put in all the end posts first, and then once we have all the end posts in, we'll put up string lines, and we'll break down each line into into all the line posts. We'll put those in. The customer asked us to stay 8 foot or under, so we're not going to go any bigger than 8 foot between pipes. Hold this to the pipe.
Yeah.
Okay, right here. So we measured 47 feet. We don't want to go above 8 feet, so we're going to have 6 bays. We're going to have 6 bays divided into the 47. So since I'm terrible at math, I'm going to take out my calculator and I'm going to figure this out. We have 47 feet divided by 6 equals 7.8. So roughly about 7 3/4 feet, 7 feet 9 inches each bay. So we're going to set those right now. Hold this in place. We're going to go 7 foot 9 inches. To me, a little bit. A little more. A little more. Okay, right there. Right there is good. All right, now just hold this one and let's move to the next one. All right, good. Okay, next one. Right up, to me a little. Okay, right there is good.
Vinieron estos gentes aquí y puso.
We are going to put the fittings around each terminal post before we start setting any rail. That's the easiest way to do it. That way, after the rail is up, we're not stretching tension bands to get them over the pipe. It's a lot easier this way. So on the bottom, we're going to start with a brace band. Then we're going to follow that brace band with 6 tension bands. And then we are going to put 1 more brace band on the top. Now this post is a corner post, meaning we're going to have a fence going in 2 different directions on a 90-degree angle. So therefore we have to set the fittings to go in 2 different directions. Therefore we're going to put 2 brace bands on the bottom. Then we're going to do 12 total tension bands, but we're going to alternate the direction of each one. Then we're going to end it with 2 brace bands on the top. So for this fence, the wire is going to be on this side and the framework is going to be on this side toward the wall. So when you're putting your tension band on, you want the flat side to be facing this way and the curved side to be facing the wall.
Let me tell you, Sebastian.
Now Freddie is going to go ahead and put a loop cap on each one of these line posts.
A loop cap is different on each side. As you'll see in the photo on the right, we have a small indent before the loop starts. That side will face the framework, and then on the left side of the photo, the loop protrudes outwards slightly past the cap. That will be on the wire side.
Now we are going to attach the rail end cups to each brace band with a nut and bolt. Now you see how Freddie does the 2 rail end cups opposite? That way the 2 top rails are going to be level across the top. If you put both rail end cups the same way, the top rail will make a little step and it doesn't look nice.
Now we're gonna get the drill. We're gonna go get the drill and.
Now Freddie is putting a rail end cup on the bottom brace band. Freddie just cut a small piece of rail for both the top and the bottom of this small section of fence here. So Freddie's just going to insert the rail into the rail end cup. And now in order to get it in the other one, he lifts up the brace band and rail end cup so that way there's more space to get it in. Then he puts it in there and now Lewis is going to tighten it.
Now the crew is continuing with the top rail, and as you'll see in a moment, the one end of this rail is swedged, so that way it can connect easily into the next rail. Freddie over here connects the two rails, and then he is going to insert the end of the rail into the rail end cup and tighten it. Now Hersan over here lifts up the top rail through the loop cap, passes it over to Jose. Jose is going to put it into the rail end cup, tighten, and give a nice smile to the camera as we pan over and look at the beautiful top rail all set up and finished. Now we're going to move on to the bottom rail. Freddie is here measuring the distance between the two posts. He's going to deduct off this measurement 1.5 inches for the rail end cup and 1 inch for the line boulevard. That'll give him the measurement at which to cut his pipe. Then he is simply going to insert the piece of bottom rail. A hack to make bottom rail easier for you is, instead of trying to finagle your tape measure into each boulevard or into each rail end cup, simply note that each line boulevard you're going to deduct 1 inch, and for each rail end cup you're going to deduct 1.5 inches. So if you're going from a corner post to a line post, you'll be going from a rail end cup to a boulevard. You're going to want to deduct 2.5 inches. If you are going from a line post to a line post and you have 2 line boulevards, you're going to deduct 2 inches. That'll make it nice and easy for you. Now we're going to start with the wire. This is pretty heavy galvanized wire. It's 8 foot high, so that's why they laid it out beforehand. Jose over here is putting the tension bar on one end of the wire. Then they're going to lift it up, and as you'll see, Hersan is just going to add a few temporary ties so that way the wire doesn't fall down. Then they are going to attach the tension bar to the tension bands with some nuts and bolts, and they're going to use a come along to stretch that wire. Now that the wire is all up and stretched, we are going to go around and tie it to the framework. Now this video here was helpful in seeing the process for installing a chain link fence indoors, but we kind of breezed through the chain link fence installation in this video and just gave you a little overview. So if you're looking for a step-by-step, super in-depth tutorial on how to install a chain link fence, check out the link attached here. I think you'll find it very helpful if you're learning how to install a chain link fence for the first time. Also, this job in particular had 2 gates, and these gates are special because they had alarmed panic bars. That way when you push the gate open, an alarm sounds. So if you're interested in continuing this video and seeing how we installed those 2 panic bars and the 2 gates, click on the link here. Lastly, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It helps us tremendously. We're going to be pumping out a lot more content just like this.